Well, we're excited to have you. So, Luis and Pedro Zurita, Desert Palms Landscaping, right here in Las Vegas, serving the whole valley, Henderson, North Las Vegas, keeping our valley beautiful all around. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. Yourself?
It's always a wonderful day at the Mendel Margarita show. So we're excited to introduce you to our community. For those that don't know who you are, tell them we're going to tell them a little bit about you, your company, all the things that you do, so that people can call you and beautify their yards. A yard is important. It's the first thing people see. It's a first impression, and people take pride, in their homes and the way things look. Businesses, when their grounds look pretty and they're nice and well kept, that makes a good impression on customers. So it's so important, that our areas look nice, saving water. There's so many reasons why a professional really should be taking care of your property. There's a lot of benefits. So let's go back to the beginning a little bit. You both are born in Las Vegas. Now, Lewis, you took off for a little while, but you came back and forth and visiting and being close together, working together in landscape as you grew up. So you went off to California, but what was it that brought you back to Las Vegas? Was something, a turning point in the family, that something that happened?
I think ultimately, when I turned 8 years old, I started coming out here during the summer times, and then pretty much from there, I figured it's somewhere I wanted to be in the future. It felt like home, so that's why I made my decision after high school.
Vegas has everything
Yeah, definitely.
between food and things to do and shopping, and you can be right in the city or you can be away
Yeah,
from it and
yeah,
just visit when you want to. So Vegas is a wonderful town. It really
yeah.
is. And Pedro, you've been here your whole life.
Yep, born and raised my entire life. So for me, kind of same thing. We weren't introduced to Luis until he finally decided to come back out when he was 8 years old. From eight all the way to 18 when he officially moved out here. We would hang out during the summers, especially like holidays like 4th of July, on the weekends going to the park. And so like as time went on, our relationship kind of started growing. And then it wasn't ultimately until he moved out here officially. No, it was like the summer before
Yeah.
the summer before he actually moved out here where we got really close. So like he originally would stay at my uncle's house, and then every now and then he'll come over, we'll hang out. And then once my uncle started transitioning into moving to Nebraska, so my aunt moved first. And that uncle originally was the one that had the landscaping company. So Luis was helping him all the time. We would go during the summers. And so once they started transitioning into going to Nebraska, we started coming over to our house a little bit more. And so from then on, we started talking, we started hanging out more, kind of turned in from cousins to brothers in a way.
More of a brotherhood
Mm-hmm.
than a cousinship.
And what a great thing to go into business together, and just keep building upon what you already had started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So was it 2022? If we fast forward a little bit, is kind of where it all kind of happened, where you knew this was what we want to do?
So 22 was when we initially started to throw around the idea of starting up our own thing because two of our uncles had their own landscaping companies. We would always help them, but it was 22 when we started throwing around the idea of, oh, we should start doing our own thing. We should try doing it for ourselves, grow it into our vision. And so from 22 to the summer of 2023 was like, you talk about something, but you never move forward until finally you're all like, you know what? We got nothing to lose. We have no kids of our own. We have no responsibilities that need us full time. So we were like better now than never. And so from 22 up to June 2023, we started doing like we did a little jobs here and there, like cleanups. We didn't have no name. We didn't have nothing. We were stuck on finding a name for like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So baby steps at the beginning. And then of June 2023 was when we officially came up with the name, we filed and everything, and that's when it became official.
Congratulations. Doesn't it feel good, when you make that decision, we're going to jump in with both feet and we're going to give it our best shot and try to make this thing work. And and you already had so much experience, growing up in the business. You knew what it took
Yeah.
to make customers happy, to do a good job, do quality work. And that's what makes customers last. And then they tell their friends. A happy customer tells everybody they know,
Exactly.
call these guys. These are the guys.
Yeah.
This is who
Definitely.
you want coming over to do this, for you. So that says a lot about you two and the work that you've done over the years. So you do all kinds of stuff from artificial grass to sprinkler repair to maintenance for commercial properties,
Mhm.
residences. You do a lot of there's a lot of before and after pictures. Your website desertpalms-landscaping.com has a lot of pictures for people to see a lot of your work that you've done all around the valley, before and after pictures, the transformation that has taken place in a lot of places that we can drive to and go see, and people can experience that. You also do tree trimming work with palm trees. Palm trees are dangerous. You need a
Oh,
professional to do this. Not only that the scorpions hide in there. I don't know if you've had your run-ins with those.
we've had rats.
Rats are the
And the
This
rats, they
big. Yeah.
unbelievable. They hit your ride and they come over on the truck, and then we get stuck with them here, right?
They
exactly.
tag
So
along.
So tell us a little bit of overview, kind of what you do the most of, and when people call you, kind of what their experience is going to be.
So for as far as landscaping goes, we encompass almost everything. So we're trying to be a one-stop shop. So you don't have to go to another company for tree trimming. You don't have to go here for maintenance. We're trying to be the one-stop shop. So mainly right now, what our majority of customers is cleanups, maintenance, or especially now we're picking up a lot on palms and tree trimmings. And then as we move forward, we kind of want to focus more on growing the commercial side of maintenance.
Here's what one of Desert Palms Landscaping business clients had to say about their monthly service. I have been a customer of Desert Palms Landscaping for a few months now, and I honestly can't say enough good things about them. My business property looks better than ever. They trim every bush, pull out all the weeds, and always leave the place spotless. Luis and his team really show pride in their work with attention to the little details and attention to myself and the property. It's nice to know my clients pull up to a clean office front. If you've been stressing about keeping up with your business landscaping, give them a call.
It's a lot easier compared to residential, because residential you have to make sure you're in line with the neighbors. You don't want to be blowing trash onto their side. You don't want to have to deal with like HOAs, because everything's simple, but like with commercial, it's just one person and you hardly ever see them. They just tell you, okay, come at this time, we need this and that, and then that's it. But we love both sides of it, residential, commercial, building that friendship with the homeowners, going over every time saying, how's the family, how are you doing, anything. So right now our main focus is maintenance.
guys, I'm Luis. This is Maestro, aka Doc.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terrence Kendall here at Santa Catalina in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm enjoying my beautiful property that Desert Palms Landscaping took care of for me.
Yes, sir.
Yay! So listen, if you want it done right, call Luis, Pedro, all the fellas, and get them to come over and take care of it.
All right, guys, it's Luis and Pedro with Desert Palms Landscaping. Today we're here with Damon and Sophia. We just completed a project, both back and front, and we're just gonna ask them a few questions of how the process went. So, guys, decide to go with us.
That was her choice.
I just got into it this week and just seems so trustworthy. Some traits of the man, people just me, and I just trust her. I really love it.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
And it was nice that the people that came to do our assessment and that we met are actually the people who are actually doing the work. Yeah.
How's the final look?
Oh, I love it. It was like the best thing you could do for a house, I feel like, as far as like the return on investment idea, the money invested in something like this is like I'm gonna get it back instantly.
That's great. And something like sprinkler repair and maintenance is really important because one little leak can cost people a lot of money if they don't know something's, broken. And, we try to save water and conserve, especially here in Las Vegas. And so, having a professional make sure all that stuff is working right for you can save you dollars down the road. And now, do you help people with design if they maybe have an idea and they want to try something new or check something out? What's kind of your favorite little things that you like to tell people to do, like some favorite advice that you have for people that want to make a change? Las Vegas in our climate, we don't get a lot of rain, but people may want color. They may want some different things to make the area beautiful.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
So as far as design goes, Vegas specifically, everyone's transitioned over to desert landscapes. So in the years prior, you had sod. The problem with that is the amount of water it takes. And since the biggest issue here is the water shortage, everyone's switching over to you have your decorative rocks, your artificial turf, pavers, and all desert-friendly installation projects like that. The good thing about that is that the Southern Nevada Water Authority, they're actually offering a rebate. Yeah. So like, let's say you have pre-existing grass and you want transition over to like one of the like rocks or something like that. They would actually go out to your property, measure, and then they'll give you like a rough estimate of how much they'll give you back if you do transition. So that saves homeowners a pretty penny. And so
that's great.
With that, like let's say a customer wants artificial turf, we'll go over the plans, we'll walk the property with them, tell them like you should do this, that, give recommendations, take into account what they want, and then a lot of times we'll build a plan for them on Adobe Illustrator. And so we'll design the plan, give them like a rough low estimate of how it looks, and if they like it, then we move forward.
That's great. And rock is definitely always a great option for the xeriscape and the desert landscape. And there's so much things to choose from. People don't realize how much variety, there's different sizes, and you can do, on a fake stream bed, and there's just so many different looks. So there's a lot of fun you can have with rock that people may not realize. So what else? Is there anything that I haven't mentioned that you work on and do?
She's pretty much covered up. Like,
we do
sprinkler, property.
I'll say honestly, if you want to talk about like our maintenance, because that's pretty much the biggest thing.
Our main focus is like maintenance, so it's like getting to know the client and not just it be a client, but build a relationship with them. Make sure that they know that we're just not gonna show up and take their money. We want to hear their concerns and what they want, how they want their yard to look, and the process of how long it's going to take to get to that point. Because sometimes it is a process. Sometimes the yard is dead, and we got to help them kind of bring it up a little bit with time, and then their patience on that, on the maintenance side of that.
No, we've had some more rain than usual lately. So, the first thing to grow is the weeds.
Oh, you don't even gotta
That
tell us
pops
about
up that like overnight. I mean,
it. Yeah.
a few little raindrops and they're there. So, what do you recommend for people that want to manage their weed problem?
I mean, we we let the homeowners know that we pull them by hand, the weeds, just to kind of keep them under control. We don't like to offer like any type of pesticides because of animals. So most of the time, clients have animals, so we kind of stay away from pesticides like that. So we recommend pull by hand and stuff like that of that nature.
You do have other options in removing weeds. Like a lot of people like hitting them with the weed whacker, but the only issue with that is it just takes off the top layer. The root's still in there. So give it a couple of days. Within the week, it'll start sprouting back up. So the best way to eliminate it is just like he said, pulling it by hand because it takes out
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more
Yeah.
time consuming, but it's the best way.
And problems are like weeds. You got to get it at the root so you can get it out of there, right?
Definitely.
So we can learn a lot. We can learn a lot from landscaping with life, the way it is with life too.
Yeah. Definitely.
So now, is there anything coming up like in the future that you're cooking up in the lab that we need to be aware of? Any new stuff coming down the road here?
On our side, I would say we're building towards the coming spring. So a lot of people like to mention the fall and winter as being the slow seasons, but we don't like to consider it like that. We'd say there's always work to be done, and there's always things you can do behind the scenes. So right now, well, let me backtrack a little bit. The way we work as a partnership is we delegate different tasks. So Luis, he starting off, he was more knowledgeable about landscaping. So as we went on, he would teach me things. He would show me why you do certain things, why some things work, and so he handles the client relationship side. So he'll set appointments. He'll go do walkthroughs, and then he'll also schedule everything. And so for me, a little bit of my background is back in high school. I did all 4 years of electives in business and marketing, and that really kind of intrigued me. And so I did a little bit of college, same thing, majored in business. And so once we started to build the company, we honestly we never even talked about it. We just yeah, we just knew what we were strong at, and that's what we did. So to now, what we're working on is on my side, I'm starting to rebuild our website. So when we first did the website like 2 years ago, when we started up, we didn't know nothing about like Google SEO, like optimizing the website. Like there's certain things you have to put in, certain procedures you have to follow. That way it helps rank your business and it helps push you on the first page. And so currently I'm working on that, like redesigning the website, adding in keywords, building backlinks. And so that's one thing we're working on, is getting that up and ready. So when springtime comes around, we're going to be on top of pages. We're in the, as soon as you search in landscaping in Las Vegas, we're going to be one of the first companies to pop up. Hopefully that's the goal. And
That's great. That's and you know, you make a great team, and that's what it's all about. You know, we evolve and things change, and it's fun to see what you built evolve and grow, and you know, just get bigger and better all the time. You know, you started out from scratch. Now you've got trucks, you've got equipment, you've got, you know, there's just it's beautiful to see what you built. You're going into your 4th year officially, you know, as a company. So it's exciting. You know, some businesses don't last as long. So, you know, it takes a lot of work. So congratulations, you two, on everything that you've done, and, you know, really being committed to doing good work, and we're excited that you're on the show. We're able to tell people about what you do and introduce you to the television audience. You know, all of our neighbors are seeing you right now, and they're, you know, learning more about what you do. And how do you prefer people reach out to schedule an appointment and to book?
I like it the old-fashioned way. If they call, it's always better. We get to hear each other's voices, kind of get more familiar with each other, and then it kind of sets the tone for the face-to-face initial.
I'd like to hear that. That's great. So 702-756-4685.
Yeah.
This is the number we need to call. We'll make sure the audience knows how to
Yes,
reach
ma'am.
you. Of course, if they want to see pictures, they can go to the website and enjoy that. Now, I have one last question for you two. Name of the show is called Mental Margarita for a reason. And Mental Margarita is kind of what's your getaway, what's your escape from like a real busy day, or kind of just if you want to find your inner peace. It could be something fun or relaxing. So, Pedro, let's start with you. What's your mental margarita?
so for me, I have two. So I'm around him the entire day, from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep. So after work, what we like to do is we like to go to the gym. We like to put our headphones in and just, you know, be around each other, but not have to talk to one another. And then once we get home, fill out computer work, this and that. I enjoy video games. That's always been my biggest hobby, is getting away, training on the system, and just going into my own.
It's a great escape. It certainly is. And fun. Awesome. Luis, what's yours?
For me, it would be the gym as well, and then the second thing would probably be either watching some TV and just relaxing a little bit.
And that's great. I'm glad that, you know, you already work a physical job in what you do, you know, every day. And then to go on and still care for yourselves even more with going and working out and making that part of your routine. It's a great thing and a healthy thing. And that's what we need to share with others, to take care of themselves so we can stick around for the people we care about. So, so thank you for sharing that with us. And we've enjoyed having you on the show. And I'm looking forward to people seeing pictures and being able to learn more about what you do and giving you a call so that you can come out and make their yards and their properties so much more beautiful and enjoyable for them.
Appreciate the time too. Thank you.
A Reliable Pest Control is committed to providing great customer service using the best industry-leading products and most of all, reliability. Family owned and operated for over 25 years, we offer faithful, friendly service at fair rates. Get started today at justdeadbugs.com. A Reliable Pest Control, the only name you need to know when you've got bugs and you want them gone. Call 258-4011.